I wanna feel it. I need your love.
Thanks for joining us today for a conversation about passion, creativity, and what you do. I'd like to start by asking you if you can tell us a little bit about your background, where you were born, where you're from, and we'll take it from there.
Sure, great. Thanks for having me. I was born in Cincinnati, Ohio. Had kind of an interesting upbringing. My father was a police officer. My mother worked mainly as an accountant. My mother was from New York, so I grew up mostly in Cincinnati, but kind of between Cincinnati and New York. And then I was shipped off to a decadent boarding school on the East Coast for high school. Was thrown out of there, and I mean that started to begin to lead to my eventual career and life path. Well, I dropped out of high school and enrolled in a performing arts school at the very last second before my senior year. Finished there, wasn't really going to college, and then I was asked to come down to my parents asked me to go look at a really small liberal arts college in Kentucky about 11 days before the school year began. And I mean, at this point I was kind of a wild, I wasn't a bad kid, I was kind of a wild kid with my own sort of stubborn direction where things were going. And I ended up at Center College, Danville, Kentucky, and that sort of changed the trajectory of my life. I met my pretty much lifetime mentor, Stephen Powell, down there, and the rest is, well, not quite history, but that's led up to where I am now.
Che, how do you think that this free spirit and what seems to be your personality, perhaps, and temperament had a role in pursuing what you do?
I think you do have to be a bit of a free spirit to pursue a career or a path in life, or just an interest that doesn't guarantee you stability or a solid future, statistically anyway. But I think really to be successful in just about anything, you've got to push it as far as you possibly can. A process like glass blowing is, once you start making something in a hot glass studio, for all intents and purposes, most of the time, you can't stop until you're finished. If you don't pay attention the entire time, something is going to go wrong. The idea of beginning an activity that you cannot stop participating in until you are actually finished with whatever it is that you're doing is really interesting. It's this incremental back and forth, heating, blowing, heating, shaping, stretching, and then making the form that you're actually interested in. The more competent you become, the more you can kind of let either your brain or your body take over, right? I'm sure that a virtuoso musician can probably play amazing music while thinking about something else to some extent, or holding a conversation. But for the most part, when you're working on something like that, you start and you stop. So it's this state of mind that is complete concentration, and if you break out of that, there's going to be a consequence. It's the only thing that I probably do on a regular basis where I'm just doing that thing when I'm doing it, and I'm not doing something else.
Is there anything creatively that you've kind of stumbled on where you felt like once you've kind of found it, hit it, that there's no going back for you?
I do think that there was that moment when I first saw the process of making glass, saw that now friend of mine throwing glass into, at that time a stranger, but now friend of mine, throwing glass into a wide open furnace. Once I got involved myself in that, yeah, I didn't think there'd be any going back unless I really, really had a change of heart or personality.
There's no going back. God knows.